20 seconds before you start talking.
Yeah.
It's rolling. Give it like 10, 15 more seconds. Just to make sure. Otherwise, it won't pick up the sound.
Hey, Kevin, is Eric coming in? No, So, okay, it's 11:15, again on the 21st, December 2018. We're inside Kelsey's apartment with Krystal, her attorney's with us. So, tell me, when you came in, what did you see?
When I first walked in, I saw blood all over the floor. I saw blood up the wall. Saw blood on this wall. That's what I first saw.
All right, can you tell me what the positioning, where the couch was and where the coffee table was?
The couch was right here by the door,
Okay.
and the coffee table was lengthwise about 2 feet from the fireplace.
And when you say 2 feet from the fire, was it in front of it? Was it to the side?
To the side of it.
Okay. And then what else was in here? I know it's kind of torn up right now, but.
There were 2 chairs right there with a TV on top of it.
All right.
There was a bunch of baby toys around the front.
Okay.
There were some blankets on the couch and some pillows.
Okay. Hey, just so you know, the camera's rolling, we'll be recording this, so. Okay. You want me to do this too? I think we're okay with the photos right now. I just wanted to point out a few things. Gotcha in a minute. So, again, if you started the door open, can you go ahead and tell me where the TV was?
There is the wall.
All right. And when you said that, where did you start putting on all the stuff you brought?
Right here at the door.
Okay, what'd you do with your bag?
I put it right here.
Okay. And you put your stuff on, and what did you start cleaning up first?
I started picking up things that were blood splattered that I would have a hard time getting blood out of.
Okay. Can you specifically show us, in the interview you told us that you had left blood spots. Can you show me where you left those? And then I'd like Eric to go ahead and take a photograph of those areas. Okay.
There?
All right.
Right
All right, so can you go ahead and point to the first one and just let Eric will tell you where to, when he's ready to take
I
a
don't
picture.
now, but it was maybe right there. I know it was down low and then on up high. I'm pretty sure those are the 2 spots.
Did you leave blood anywhere else that you didn't clean up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
There was a baby gate. And I put it back here, but I don't see it.
okay.
Okay, so they took the baby gate.
Okay.
Is this where you put it?
I put it back here, yes.
All right. Did you touch or manipulate anything in here while you were in here?
Yeah, I put laundry detergent in the washing machine and towels in there. I had been instructed to try to wash things,
Okay.
and I didn't do that.
You said a towel?
There might have been a couple of towels that I put inside the washing machine, but they were just towels from dirty laundry. They didn't have anything on them that I was aware of.
Do you remember what color they were?
Red.
Okay. And do you remember where you got the detergent from?
I believe it was sitting with the washing machine.
You do. Okay. And just looking in there now. Do you want to see?
Oh, maybe no, maybe it wasn't. 'Cause
Okay.
maybe
All right, so moving into the bathroom here, can you, tell me what you saw in here and what you cleaned up?
I didn't see anything. I was specifically told to clean the bathroom.
Okay,
So, but I didn't see anything. There might have been blood. There was a lot of blood. So
Right.
they're on the floor, all over the floor. And there may have been bloody footprints in here, but I don't specifically remember.
okay.
I wiped the sink down. I wiped the toilet, the top of the toilet. I turned on the shower just in case there was stuff in the bottom. I didn't see anything in the bottom of the shower.
All right.
Um,
So if I understand you correctly, you saw blood on the floor or no? In the bathroom, do you remember?
I don't remember.
All right, okay. So coming out, can you show me or tell me where you got additional trash bags from?
Right there.
Okay, that's the athlete. Okay. Anything else in here that you grabbed?
There was a white bucket, like a white cleaning bucket. Okay. But I don't see it in there anymore.
All right. Do you recognize any of this stuff?
Yes.
And what do you point to?
You get that? The back of it was facing this way. There's all blood spattered on the back.
Okay.
This is the TV that was sitting up there.
All right. And did you say, correct me if I'm wrong, did you say that you cleaned off some of the appliances?
I did. I wiped there was blood on the front of the dishwasher. There was blood on the front of the stove. There was, that cinnamon roll pan had blood on the tinfoil on top of it.
So so let me go back. There was tinfoil on top of it?
On top of the cinnamon roll pan, and it was sitting right there.
And what'd you do with the tinfoil?
I put it in the rest of the stuff.
Okay.
There was blood on top of the coffee maker. There was blood. In fact, I had to climb up. There was a blood spatter up high.
How'd you climb up?
I just climbed up right here on the counter. If you take down that stuff,
Yeah.
if you look in that stuff, I didn't go through it. There may be stuff up in that. There was blood spatter on the side of here and on the front of the cabinet.
So when you say blood spatter on there, can you go ahead and point to the areas
Here, now this.
Okay, hold on, let me get a picture of it. Go ahead, put your finger.
Has somebody went through all that now? Because there may be blood in there. I didn't look at it.
All right. Is there blood anywhere else?
I noticed some on some of these appliances, and so I wiped it and pitched it in the sink.
Right.
So anything that was in the sink, I don't know, I don't remember exactly, but I put it in the sink.
So if we were to use that piece of wood trim there, can you use that piece of wood and point to where that blood is that you cleaned up?
It's got nails sticking out, so be careful on the back.
Just hold it there for a sec. Okay. Can you tell me where the Bible was, or the religious book that you said had? He's going to get a picture of that so we can.
Did you lift the blinds and look at the glass? Because there may be blood back there too.
Okay, so let me ask you something. Do you see the curtain rod?
Yes.
Is that the condition it was in? Do you remember?
No, it was not.
Tell me what you know.
It was straight, but to get the curtains off, I had to climb up and undo, and it was straight. And after I got done with it, it wasn't straight anymore.
Okay. Can you also Let me try to find something different. You can point, just down there for a minute. And if I understand you correctly, you did not use any of Kelsey's supplies other than some of the clean stuff, the racks, or the towels and what? Okay. So with this broom, can you point to the area where you saw and cleaned blood up on the wall? And just hold it there so we get a picture of that. Okay, anywhere else?
It was, the spray was, from here all the way. I had to clean up underneath here, and it was all down here. And, I know that I didn't get, I don't know that I got some of this underneath here because I didn't move the chairs to get it.
Okay. All right, so then upstairs, can you take us upstairs and show us where the blood that you saw up there? Watch your feet.
Want me just to use that?
Yeah, I'm gonna probably be in the way, so I want you to
There
go
were
ahead and.
just bloody footprints all up the stairs. And,
Can you squeeze in front of me?
Got it. Anywhere else in here?
not that I saw.
So did you go on the other side of the bed?
No, I did not.
Okay, all right.
You might take that and look at that really good too, because I didn't touch that with anything.
So you're talking about that
Pumpkin thing.
pumpkin thing you got me?
Yeah, and any of the, I didn't clean any of this stuff, this, decorative, and there was blood spatter clear up on here and on the blind.
So can you tell me the condition of the blinds when you were here, the drapes?
They were open and hanging and blood spatter.
Okay, so when you say open, how far open were they?
They were all the way, there was able to have blood spatter from here all the way across
Okay.
to here.
So when you're talking blood spatter, I mean, how much are you talking about?
There wasn't much here, it was just spots
Okay,
that I was able just to wipe.
all right.
This
And
had blood all over it too.
and you're pointing to the
The rocking
rocking chair? All right,
This had blood on it.
okay.
There was blood on the front of that picture.
Do you remember the fireplace and where about on the fireplace if, because I think you said in the interview there was some blood.
On the rough out, but
Watch your
I don't see it now, but I just remember, just leaving it alone because
Okay.
of the rough out blood.
What vents did you clean?
That was,
That vent right there, and can you point, if you remember, where the tooth was?
Use the broom.
Around the tooth, what was there, if anything?
blood.
All right. Is there anything else that you remember?
I moved the couch. I wiped the couch off. There was blood behind the couch down the wall. There was a stand, some sort of stand right there by the couch, and the lamp and that basket were on it. I worked from that side all the way around did the upstairs. And then I, did the bathroom and the kitchen and mopped the floors. And then out.
All right. So you had also talked, excuse me, about cookie cutters.
They were in that cabinet.
They were in the cabinet?
They were in the cabinet. He specifically told me to, get those out and clean them.
All right. And do you know how many there were?
It was a baggie.
It was a baggie. Did you see anything on the baggie?
I didn't.
So if I understand correctly, you kind of were in this area first in the living room, and then from the living room you went upstairs, and then you came back downstairs, went into the bathroom, and then came in and cleaned the floor and then left. Okay. Right. And did you point out to where the baby gate was when you saw it? When you came in?
It was right here, leaning against the wall.
All right.
And there was blood. There's blood on the wall here. There's blood on the wall here. And there was blood right here.
Okay. Was there any blood on the TV, do you remember?
Yeah, there was blood on the TV. There was blood on the chairs. There's blood on this chair. There's blood on the table. There's blood on the Hobby Lobby bag that was sitting there.
Okay. All right. Good to go. Anything else that you remember or want to talk about in this area, here in her place?
Not that I remember right now, but if I do remember something,
Okay.
you might flip that couch up because I didn't do anything with the bottom of the couch. So if there's anything underneath there may be.
Okay. All right. For processing
There
here
was blood on that,
on
the paper shredder.
okay.
And that vase, but I cleaned the vase.
Okay. All right. Ms. Nielsen, you have anything? Okay. We're going to go ahead and shut the video off and leave. It's now 11:30.
Can I have 1 second though?
Okay, today is December 21st, 2018. It's about 8:30 p.m. or a.m. and we're up at Patrick Frazee's property. So, Krystal, can you again kind of just describe to us right now first the container? If you can describe the container that we talked about yesterday again.
The container was a black plastic tote that was about this tall and about that wide.
Okay. And you mentioned that there was some clips on it or some strapping or something?
Some metal clips on the side to hold it closed.
Okay.
Can I ask,
Go ahead.
did it have a lid?
The lid, yeah, the clip held the lid on it.
Okay. Was it a hinged lid or a loose lid?
I believe it was a hinged lid.
Okay. And what color was it?
Black.
And Krystal, just so you know, this is Steve DeFrance. He's with the FBI Emergency Response Team. Okay. So he's going to be doing the processing up here. And then as far as the container, the tub, if you will, that that tote container was put in, can you describe that again? The burn type.
The where the burn occurred, where
Well,
the tote was put.
Yeah, what it was put into, that aluminum.
It was an aluminum water trough, round, no bottom on it. Probably, so from me to the gentleman with the hat, big, and then same It was round, but the
Okay.
diameter was probably from the end.
It had no bottom on it?
There was no bottom.
And,
The bottom was rusted out.
and where exactly did Patrick get that?
I believe he got it from up.
What is up there? Did you remember just off the top of your head?
Kind of just extra board, catch all for unneeded supplies.
Correct me if I'm wrong, did you mention there was a shed that he went into to get that stuff? Or am I I'm just forgetting things wrong?
No shed.
Okay, all right. So, with that said, when you came up, where did you park the Jetta?
Initially, I parked it where those trucks are.
Okay, so can you,
So, I'm going to tell you start to finish when I first got here.
okay,
I parked the Jetta right there
and when you say right there, you're
by
pointing
the
towards
truck,
which truck?
the Ford, the middle Ford.
Okay, the one between the car and that bigger truck?
Yes.
Okay.
I parked it right there. I got out. I spoke with him. We talked for probably an hour and a half. He needed to do his chores. He went in and got his little girl. I carried his little girl around while he finished his chores. It started to snow. So I sat in the grass. I didn't go to the spot.
Oh, okay.
Sat in the spot with the little girl because it was snowing. From there, I told him I have to leave. He gave me Kelsey's phone and gave me instructions on what to do with the phone. Do you need me to go through all of that again, or can I just tell you what I was doing with the vehicles and the process?
I think we have an agreement with your attorney that we can't get into a lot of that stuff at this point. We're going to go back and talk again so that we can get into that later.
Okay.
Okay?
From there, I drove the Passat down to Woodland Park. I drove the Passat back, parked it at the Conoco. He met me at the Conoco. From there, I got in the truck with him.
Okay.
When we got back, we parked the truck up on top of the hill. I took his truck back to the Conoco and got the Passat, brought the Passat back to here, and I parked it at the top of the hill.
All right. So can you tell us now, can you walk us to where you parked and what you did after you parked?
I took the Passat right here.
Right where?
Right
Okay. I'm sorry?
in front of the dog kennel.
Okay.
And then,
I'll just get next to her.
Yeah.
Let you describe it so we can pick all this up.
this is where the aluminum top was, and this is where the burn occurred.
Okay, so real quickly, were you able to tell by looking at this now, as you can see there's a discoloration in the dirt? Was this the same way it was when you were up here, if you remember? Is this the same looking dirt here, or?
Prior to the burn, no, the dirt was this color.
The dirt was the red color?
Yeah.
Okay. And about where was the trough?
Right here in the middle, like right here.
All right. And as you look around here, do you recognize anything that's different, or that is how this is appearance that you remember back when you were up here? Does that make sense?
Have there been any changes
Yeah,
to
do you notice anything that's different?
besides the truck being parked here and the blue truck being parked right there? The blue truck wasn't parked right there.
Okay,
Other than that, no, I don't.
okay. Is there anything here that resembles the container, the tote, if you will, that you've described?
Those black totes that are sitting up there.
Okay. And tell me what, as far as those containers are concerned, how similar are those to the ones that you saw Patrick take off from the barn?
After I've seen those, I believe that they're identical. I thought that maybe the clamps were on the side earlier, but I'm positive that the totes are identical to that one.
Okay.
Do you know what's in those?
I do not know what's in those.
Were those there when you were here?
I believe so.
Okay. And that metal setup was
Yeah.
there as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is it now, if you can direct us to where Patrick got the trough?
I don't know where he got the trough from.
Where were you? Was it here?
The trough was here on his property. I was down at the bottom of the hill looking at the horses.
Okay. And where was Patrick's truck parked?
Which truck?
The truck that you guys went to the barn and came back with the tote.
After the tote came back, it was parked right here. Up.
Okay.
And then I took it and went and got that car. So it was parked at the Conoco.
Okay, I'm a little confused. I'm sorry.
We brought the tote here.
Okay.
We unloaded the tote.
Okay.
I got in his truck. I drove his truck back to the Conoco
All right.
and got in the Passat.
Okay.
I left his truck at the Conoco.
All right.
I brought the Passat up here.
Okay.
I removed belongings from the trunk and put them into the burn.
Was the fire going at the time?
Yes.
Were you present when he started the fire?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
And can I, the truck that you're referring to, which truck is that?
The red Toyota.
So, can you? I'm old. Remember that. I forget. Did you say that there was something back up there, up towards past here?
There was some wood
Okay.
there.
Can you show us where the wood was?
This has all been cleaned up better since I was here.
Okay.
There was a pile of wood and kind of rubble here.
When you say wood and rubble, can you describe to me what wood would be?
Pallets, and logs.
Okay. And rubble?
Just what appeared to be maybe scrap metal, T-post fencing.
Okay.
It wasn't organized like this.
What's T-post fencing?
T-post.
Oh, got it. What did you, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe yesterday you said that you also collected wood and put into the burn pit?
Yes, I did.
Where did you collect the wood from?
Here.
I'm sorry?
From
Sorry, the dogs are barking. Okay. And what type of wood was it? Do you remember?
2x4.
Okay, got it. The anything else up here that you recall, or did you go anywhere else, or did you see Patrick go anywhere else? What about the accelerant? Do you know what that obviously
It was
the,
gas,
okay.
and then he also threw in motor oil.
Are you able to show us where he got those from?
I can't show you where he got those from.
Okay.
He had them sitting out here.
And can you show us where those were sitting out?
Yes. They were sitting right here, next to the trailer.
Okay, and is there anything here that looks like the containers that anything was in?
That gas can may have been used. I don't remember exactly what the gas can looked like that he was using.
Okay. What about the oil?
The oil was just in a quart oil jug.
Did it have any markings or writings on it?
Not that I saw. Not that
We're
I-
talking about kind of the rectangular with the spout on the side, kind of typical
Yes. Yes, sir.
quart of oil. Okay.
That was all sitting here. How many gas tanks were there?
I only saw one
Okay.
that he was using. I didn't notice if there were more.
What color was it?
I believe it was red.
Now, that obviously is white and red. Was it,
White and red.
do you remember?
don't.
Okay.
I just remember it was a gas can.
All right, and is that, in your opinion, is that about the size, or do you know?
I believe that's about the size.
Do you know if he has a lot of those?
I don't know.
Okay. And anything else you can recall about where you went or anything? You had mentioned that there was a corrugated, a metal roof
Um,
type thing put over top of the flame.
like tin
Okay.
corrugated roof that was put over top of the trough.
Okay. And where did that come from?
I don't know where he got it. I'm imagining he got it from the pile of stuff back up the hill. I
And,
didn't see him bring it down.
okay, did you see him put it on there?
I did see him put it on there.
And where were you when you saw him put that on?
I was I had just pulled up in the car and was standing back here.
Okay, where'd you park the car?
I parked the car right there,
Oh,
and I
the
walked
tin?
up to here, and he was putting the tin on top.
Okay, and when you say you were by here, where were you? Where was the car? Okay. You had also mentioned that at one point Patrick's mom came out and stood on the deck. Looking over towards the house, can you tell me where you saw his mom?
I could just see her step out between the two trees.
Okay,
Here, so there's the wire dog kennel.
all right.
If you just go right straight past that, the edge of the wire dog kennel, she came out to about there and then turned and went back in the house.
So to identify the deck that you're talking about, is there any,
Front deck.
okay, and is there anything on there that you can identify now that would replicate or tell us, not replicate, but identify the front deck?
Um,
Do you see anything on there?
well,
Is it the one with the umbrella?
yes.
All right. All right, sure.
Can I ask you a couple of follow-up questions? So the trough, from what you described, sounded roughly 5 or 6 feet in diameter. Pretty big. You like this big around?
Yeah.
Well, how about
Okay.
we do this? Is there anything on the property that you can see right now that is the size?
It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that trough. And I believe that's a 50-gallon trough. Would you? I want to say it was a 100-gallon trough, but I don't want to be incorrect because I'm not sure. But it was bigger than that round trough, but similar height, similar aluminum, but bigger.
Kind of straight walled like that?
Yes.
Okay. And then the tin that he put on top, how big a sheets were those? Did they cover the whole thing?
He had about four different maybe 3 different sections of it, but they were
Okay.
long but not very wide.
Okay. And can you describe what they look like? Did they have a color
Green.
to them?
They
They're
were green.
Okay.
Similar to the green on the house.
There's some things up here that you should
Can
probably
we
look
walk
at.
up and look at a couple things up there?
So you see anything around that would be consistent?
It looks like these.
Okay. About that width?
No wider than that.
A little wider than that?
Yeah.
Anything else you can think of that we should probably look at why we have you here?
I don't think that there's anything else.
Okay. All right. For
Was
you,
can you describe what else went into the fire?
Pallets went into the fire.
Mm-hmm.
The materials from her home.
And those were in what?
Garbage bags.
Okay.
Everything was in garbage bags.
Black garbage bags, white garbage bags?
2 white garbage bags and I believe 4 black garbage bags. The gasoline, the motor oil. There were a couple of buckets. He poured gasoline in the bucket and pitched it into the fire.
Bucket, like a clean
white,
bucket?
A white, like, maybe there used to be like an old mineral bucket for like, or like a seed bucket, you know, just a little white bucket. I don't recall anything else that went in.
Okay. And the whole bin, that black bin went in?
The whole tote went in.
Did you see what any of this looked like after the burn?
No, I was not present. I left.
is there anything with shingles?
I don't believe so.
Okay, it was just going to be the tin roofing that was put on there.
I believe that was all.
Anything else?
Not that I can remember at this time.
All right.
So he just used scrap wood. He didn't use any firewood.
There were some. Yes, there was firewood too. Probably I would.
Like the stuff in front, behind the house.
I'm not. Yeah, probably similar to chalkwood.
What did he use to start the fire?
Gasoline.
I know, but I mean, what was was it a match? Was it a book of matches, a flare, a lighter, or what?
A match.
Do you know where he got that from?
I don't.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Do you guys have any other things for the process?
Just about the bottom of the tote, or the bottom of the trough. How do you know there was no bottom on it?
He told me that it was rusted out.
Okay, but you could look in it and see dirt through the bottom. Okay. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to go ahead and shut the camera off now, and we're going to go.
This girl, man. This girl. If you're not familiar with this case, start with Dateline, The Vanishing. You go to Dad with the Phone Facebook. And you look up The Vanishing. You're stuck in your house right now. You're on you go watch this Vanishing right here. And this will give you all the details up until trial. And then you can always come back and go read trial documents.
Thanksgiving Day, she's with her child doing what many mothers do, and then she just vanishes.
Her purse was gone, her cell phone was gone.
Very, very scary.
Her story became a worldwide mystery.
Her face is everywhere. Kelsey is everywhere. What do we do? How do we find her?
Where was Kelsey?
There's somebody else involved.
She was the key to this case. She's everything.
A lot of people cannot believe that he's wrapped up in something like this.
This case would be far darker than anyone knew.
This is very sinister.
Absolutely.
He places a tiny body that nobody would ever find.
He told you that.
To commit that kind of crime, that takes a special kind of monster.
An elaborate plot with an evil twist. I'm Lester Holt, and this is Dateline. Here's Andrea Canning with The Vanishing of Kelsey Berreth.
So you need to go check that out on Dad with the Phone page. Just Google in your Facebook, Dad with the Phone, The Vanishing. You can watch the entire story there. They also do a second part. So Dateline's got 2 parts to the Kelsey Berreth story. So you'll want to go back through and watch both of those. They do a great job of letting you know what happened, how much this chick was involved. There's also about to be released on the Oxygen Network, Couples Who Kill, I think is the name of it. And it'll be a new series or a new documentary about this case. Dad with the Phone will be featured in that, but you can learn about this case through Dateline, through the Oxygen Network. You guys need to know about this case because they're about to let this girl out of prison 60 days into her 1,000-day sentence. She was actually sentenced for 3 years, which isn't enough time, and the DA will even say that out loud, but it was the deal that they made. And they're about to let her out 60 days into her 1,000-day sentence, put her on community corrections in a halfway house to then be put on an ankle monitor and let back into society. You got to make some noise. Let me tell you the timeline on this. So word came down around the 20th that they were going to start pushing for this. On the 22nd, the DA wrote a letter to, no, on the 25th, the DA wrote a letter to the Department of Parole, the corrections. They got a response back that said they were going to go ahead and move forward. They are pleading that they don't go move forward. So then they leak it to the press, to Dad with a Phone, to say, listen, we have to have a public outcry for this woman to stay in prison. So now this is up to you. You got to start waking up, people. You got to call. You got to use your damn quarantine time and make a few phone calls to the 4th Judicial District. You got to make a few tweets out to the court system. You got to make a lot of noise. You can't just call the correctional people. You got to wake up anybody in Colorado. You call your senator. You call everybody in Colorado to make phone calls. This woman needs to stay in prison. We owe it to Kelsey's family. We owe that. The justice system owes that to Kelsey's family. They owe that to her daughter. You cannot let this woman out of prison 60 days into her sentence. We're going to be talking about this for a minute. We're going to add this to our regularly scheduled programs to keep you up to date with what's up with old freaking KK. You can tune in to Dad with the Phone on TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter, Facebook, Dad with the Phone. Like I said, go watch The Vanishing. Go watch the second series that Dateline did. If you want to throw some money in the bucket for entertainment, you can do it at the link at the bottom of the bucket, or at the bottom of the screen. We'll be back. We'll be back whenever. But we're not going to let this little girl walk out in silence for sure. Freaking KK. She's a punk.